Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to All Under the Squirrel Tree. I'm really glad you're here. I hope you'll stick around for a while. I got just a small Temu haul. Came last week and it took me a couple of days to get around to sitting down to do the video. First thing I'm going to show you is the dress. Another one of those no longer desire to wear pants because they're just too uncomfortable. Loved most of the Temu dresses that I'm getting, I absolutely love. They're kind of t-shirty feeling and comfortable. Some of them, are that kind of nylon flag feeling, but not as bad as others. They're okay. Anyway, this one is beautiful. Hang on, I did something. Oh, Opal, you're in the way. No, you're not. This was $17.43, and it's pretty much what you'd spend at, Walmart, or that's kind of the only store we've got around here to buy dresses at, besides Value Village. It is the prettiest. I've got pictures so I can show you what it looks like, but this is the fabric. It's a beautiful lilac color. Oh, itchy nose. It comes down to just above my ankles, and I really, really love it. It's comfortable. It's almost t-shirt feeling. Almost. This one feels like a t-shirt. This is actually my nightgown. Pajama party. Yeah, it's Sunday, and I just didn't feel like getting dressed. I didn't need to tell you that, but I did. Anyway, that beautiful dress was $17.43, and whoops, that's what it looks like. So it is really nice. I'm really happy with that one. That's actually it in blue, but that's the color. That's what it looks like. So, oh, come on. Sorry, I gotta pull my little stool up a bit closer. I need to pet my little girl. Give my little kitty. No, she's not gonna sit up. Excuse me. Bye-bye troubles. Here's my coffee. Okay. The other thing I got, and I can't wait to get these on, and I don't know why I haven't put them on yet. As you know, I've mentioned, if you've watched more of my videos, I've occasionally mentioned that I'm Scottish heritage. And whether I am or not, I love plaid and tartan. But I got these nails. Aren't they awesome? Well, they're awesome if you like plaid nails. But I thought, just for a giggle, I'm going to put them on. I was so happy when they came, and they were, other than the fact that they're on this bar thing, I don't like that, because that means you have to, when you tear them off, there's always that little, well, yeah, I guess you can see it a little bit. There's always that little sort of edge that you sand down and file down, and never, well, I never get it quite perfect, but anyway, if they had come in, oh, sorry, Opal did not, that was a little, yeah, that little squeaky noise, Opal does not like that. Okay, well, I can't get them all the way in, so that's fine. I might just put them on after this video. The Temu nails aren't too bad. They're with the little sticky pad things that they come with, useless. But I do keep them now and then because I use them to hang stuff up on the wall. Like little tiny postcards and things like that. I just stick them on the wall with them. So they are useful. Just not for nails. Anyway, those nails were $2.18. Now that's pretty darn good for fake nails. I actually use Kiss, I think it's called, from Walmart, nail glue, and crazy glue, super glue, whatever you call it. Oh, this was a heartbreaker. I ordered a large some kind of shell. I wanted to use it as a dish to keep my little crystals and things in, and it came in several pieces. Other than that, it's beautiful. It's very, very translucent. It's very thin. I'm not surprised. And I did get my money back. Well, credit. Which I immediately used to buy a sturdier one. But I can take that and crunch it up and use it in resin or something else. So it's not a complete loss. It's just a loss for what I wanted it for. Because I've got these pretty little crystals and things that I bought from Temu, and I want to put them in something, and I thought the shell would be perfect, and it would have been if it had arrived in one piece, and it was $7.86. It wasn't a little cheapy thing, but like I said, I did get them credit returned. I can't remember why I got these. That's not good. And I can't seem to find the opening. There it is. These were $2.65 for 24 pieces. Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Come on. And they're just little wooden window frames. I might use, like this one is kind of stony, so I might use it in the nativity scene because it's kind of ancient looking. And then there's this one and this one. It just looks like a Fred Flintstone window. And then this one, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's, oh no, then there's this one. So they are cute. They're nicely made. They would be great for, miniatures or picture frames or resin, anything like that. If you had one of those, you get those photos that are just not the greatest photo to just have in an album, but because they're too far away and the images are really small, you could always put it behind one of these. Something like that, I don't know. And they, like I said, they were 24 of them for $2.65. And keeping up with my, oh. No, really? Really? Seriously? Seriously? Oh, no, there, see? Persistence pays. I fixed it. Because I got, and I don't even have my scissors here. I had to take my scissors out into the kitchen because I couldn't find my kitchen scissors. Just to match my nails, I got, and it works, it works, it works. Yeah, it doesn't work. Well, I mean, it does, but now they are, it looks a little bit orange on here to me anyway, but they are real pretty red. And yeah, they were, how much were they? $2.53. $2.53 to make me very happy. And this worked well. So now I just got to put it somewhere where I'll remember that it's, oh, I'll put them in there. And I'll put that in there. So, oh, pardon me, $2.53 for the, now these were $2.54 each. I ordered 2 of them. Yeah, everybody can see, X-ray vision, we can see through stickers. And they're just those little alphabet beads. Oh, itchy nose. Sorry, that was really rude. I'm not going to open these because these are not resealable and I don't have anything on hand that is. But they're just, oh, there's the little, see, just little alphabet beads. Make some bracelets, bracelets and stuff. And the finale, what was that fell? Oh, my notebook. This is probably the most expensive thing I've ever, not expensive thing by any means that I've bought on Temu, but as far as like pens go, but I couldn't resist. It was $4.42, but it's, you know how some pens have to feel right? Oh, this feels right. It's got weight to it, and it's balanced. It's not like, you know, one end is way heavy. It's a twist to bring the ink down. And this is my little list of the prices of stuff, which I wrote with this pen. It writes beautifully. And it's black ink, even though for some reason it looks red on here. Oh no, now it doesn't. Yeah, so I'm really happy with this. This is my new favorite pen. Did you, anybody else have a favorite pen? Up until now, this was my favorite pen. This is a Bic Velocity. And I love the way it writes. It's still, they're tied. But this one looks better. That Bic Velocity pen is so smooth. It's, I think it might be like a gel pen or something. I don't know. But yep, that's my... This notebook is Dollarama. This little pen holder is Temu. And it's just on an elastic. I got this ages ago. You slip it over the thing, you slip your pen in there, and there you go. This is where I put all my important stuff that I don't want to forget and then not lose the book. So that was the Temu haul. That was all there was. I do have one more coming in because of the shell. I really want the shell for some reason. It just, yeah, it just seems right to have the little crystals in and look pretty, and they won't roll out onto the floor and get battered around like a toy. Right? She's ignoring me. So we have had snow. Oh my goodness, snow. Now I'm in Toronto. Etobicoke to be precise. And the snow, my goodness, it's been crazy. This is not funny at all, but I'm laughing anyway. The other night, I listened to a woman out there trying to, she hadn't been out all weekend, I guess, or all, you know, for a couple of days. And there was literally like 2 feet of snow on her car. Maybe 18 inches. She's in a corner and there's no wind to blow it off. But all of the other cars had almost as much anyway, so. But she was out there for a good 45 minutes to get half the car done. And then she came inside for a while. And then she went out and did some more, and then it started snowing. And by morning, there was a good 6 inches on her car again. But at least it was easier to get off. Just doop, 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 and off it went. But oh yeah, the snow was crazy. And they would come and they'd plow the sidewalk, and within an hour, there was a good solid coat of snow on it again. And they would come 2 or 3 times a day to keep the main walkways plowed. And then, of course, they've notices up all over the building. They sent messages out saying, you know, we're plowing this area on this date between these hours. Please move your car. And nobody moved their, well, some, you know, people didn't move their car. And the snowplow just plowed everything, and now there's like 6 feet of snow in front of their cars. But it was really, really nuts. Beautiful to look at, because I don't have to go outside. I haven't been outside in a few days. I'm going to go today. I'm going to go to the store and get some Sugar Twin, because I ran out of Sugar Twin, and I am not doing an Instacart for a box of Sugar Twin. Opal, I want to put my arm down. And my kitty cat Opal, she's sitting here, but you can't see her. No, she doesn't want to lift her head up. That's okay. You do, you do. You do, you do. Anyway, I'm going to have a sip. Excuse me. I've got this urge to make something, and I'm not sure what I want to make. I have a ton of different hobbies. I do cross-stitching and embroidery and crochet and several different types of resin and just stuff. Paper toll. Not paper toll. I'd like to get into paper toll, but another time. Paper quilling. You roll up little rolls of paper, make designs out of them. Card making. I mean, these are all the kind of things that I do. And right now I'm in the mood to make something. And for the first time in quite a few days, I've got the sort of energy to sit up for a while and do it. The surgery that I had was fairly major surgery. It wasn't, you know, just like any surgery is major. And it was done laparoscopically. So I shouldn't, you know, I mean, obviously it was only 2.5 weeks ago, December 31st. And every time I say that, I think to myself, there went my New Year's. Because my kid and I had plans, man. We were going to have a couple of drinks and giggle, and maybe I'd give them a tattoo and all silly stuff like that. But anyway, yeah. But I've just been so tired, sleeping a lot, even without, well, I haven't used the pain pills in forever. Stopped the first week. I got like, I think 1 left. They only gave me 7 or 10. They only gave me a few anyway, but I got 1 left. And yeah, it's not pain. It's just this like pulling, and so tired all the time. But if I do sit too long, it gets sore. If I stay in one position too long, it gets sore. If I stand up too long, everything just kind of starts to hurt. Anyway, that's enough whining for the day. I am feeling tons better. I've had some, oh, Opal. Opal's been somewhere. She's dusty. My birth mother wanted to name me Dusty Rose. She didn't. God. Thank goodness. It was the 60s. A nurse strongly suggested coming up with something else, so she came up with Cindy Rose. Not Cynthia Rose. Cindy Rose. All one word. And then my parents changed, when they adopted me, they changed it to Barbara. Ugh. Anyway, no offense if your name is Barbara and you like it. I don't. Anyway, there's some history you didn't expect, personal history you didn't expect. You never know what to expect coming out of me, or the order in which it comes out. I have a tendency to sometimes, like, instead of starting at the beginning of a story and then progressing to the end, which is normal, I'll start out with it's like telling the punchline and then explaining saying the punchline and then telling the joke. But, oh, you say hello, Opal? Hello. Hello. Oh, she's purring. She's my baby. Yes, she's my 12-and-a-half-year-old baby. Oh, she's going to be 13 in May. Yes, you are. You're an old girl. Don't put your coffee in my tail. Don't put your coffee in my tail. Don't. Oh, no, you can't go there. That's a girl. She swings her tail around and has, on several occasions, dipped it into my coffee or whatever I've been drinking. Yes, I love you too. I do. I don't need that. Yeah. Kitty cat tails are good for swatting at things and dusting the floor and stuff like that, but they're not good coffee stirrers. Anyway, I suppose I've chatted on long enough. I don't really have anything too major to say. The snow was the big news this week. It snowed almost nonstop for like 3 days. And then it stopped for half a day and started up again. We're supposed to get more tonight. So I think I'm going to go with my friend down the hall and just do our little walk around. We have in our neighborhood a celebrity coyote. She is beautiful. Coyotes are beautiful animals. I don't like their menu choices, because one of their favorite things to eat is squirrels. But, you know, it's life, right? I'm sure people who love chickens feel the same way about me when I'm eating my curry chicken. But she has been, they've named her Bunny, and she has been spotted in the area. Okay, first of all, when they first found her, she had mange, really bad. And it was coming up on winter, and everyone was worried about this poor coyote not having adequate fur. So the mange improved. I don't know if somebody intervened, gave her something, or took her to a vet. I don't know, but she did get better. She's got all of her fur now, and it's only been a couple of months. Then just last week, she got hit by a car. And the fella who hit her said he saw her and started to stop, but somehow it didn't in time, and he felt the impact of hitting her, but she immediately ran off. Like, her legs looked fine. She wasn't limping. She ran off into the park, and you know, he checked around. There was like no indication, staining or anything, that she had been seriously injured externally. But there was the big concern of internal injuries, because this fella said it was a pretty, you know, he felt it in this car as he's driving. So, you know, everybody was looking for days, worried about Bunny. She has no tail. That's see? There's telling the story backwards. This is how she got noticed in the first place. She has no tail. And everybody was sort of like, you know, what happened to it? What happened to it? You know, was she born that way? Was it that baby, she was born that way? I love Lady Gaga. you know, was it an accident? What happened? But she didn't have a tail. And then she got mange. And then she got hit by a car. And they were all terribly worried about her internal injuries. But she was spotted just a couple of nights ago running across the street with a squirrel. And the whole reason for me telling you this story is that was fairly close to where I live. And now I have this insane desire to go down to the bottom of the driveway as our start of our little park and make sure all of my babies are there. There's only two that I can actually recognize of all of the little black ones. One is Pinky, because for some reason his nose is pink. Brain, who is gray, from Pinky and the Brain. He only got the name because he hangs around with Pinky all the time. I think they're a couple. Because squirrels do have long-term relationships. I don't think they mate for life, but they do have very, very close relationships with other squirrels, whether it's siblings or neighbors or whatever. They're like best buddies. Anyway, Pinky and this little gray one hung around together all the time, so we started calling him Brain. And then there's Mama, but he's gray, so he's easy to tell from the others. Then there's Mama Halftail, who is another little black squirrel, but she only has half a tail. Something going on with the tail thieves out in this neighborhood. But the stump of her tail has grown this little white tuft. And she's just really cute. She's very easy to spot. But yeah, when I saw this picture of Bunny running across the street, first thing I did was squint my eyes really tight, enlarge the picture, and peek to see if there was a white tuft at the end of the tail. Yeah, I am that lady. I am that crazy squirrel lady. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Squirrels and cats and dogs and skunks and raccoons and penguins. You name it. If it's alive, I love it. Put it that way. What can I say? I think that might have been my kid. Their regular Sunday back and forth phone tag with messages. Yeah. So everybody's doing well. Friend down the hall is doing well. Again, also hasn't been out in days and getting a little stir crazy, so I'm thinking we'll go to the store. We'll get a little treat, walk through the garden and go check out our car. And there's a car in the parking lot that we both love, and I call it the tomato car because it looks like a tomato. It's beautiful red. I think it's a PT Cruiser or something like that. One of those kind of weird looking older cars, but it's this beautiful tomato red. It looks like a bright, shining, glorious tomato in the garden. Anyway, we both love that car, and every time we walk by it, my friend says, "You know what? We go to buy a ticket. We go to win the lottery. We're going to buy that car, and we're going to drive to Nova Scotia." Okay, that's what we'll do. None of those things. Well, buying the ticket is possible, but none of the other things are possible. We could go to Nova Scotia, but just couldn't drive there in the tomato car. Neither of us have a license anymore. Well, I never did have one. Anyway, I like 10 minutes ago said it was time to say ciao. But I didn't. But now I am. I will do a short little video when the next order comes in. I can't remember if I did one or two because I know I had a ton of credit, and I'm back to doing. I don't buy anything from Temu unless I've done enough surveys to make up for at least 75% of the cost of the order. And it's been a while since I've done the surveys, so I'm building up again, but one of the orders was paid by survey, and then the other one was half credit and half cash, but still very little because I had a lot of credit. I don't fool around with Temu. If something is not what I'm expecting, I will you know, try and get a refund for it. The only thing I don't do is if they request that it gets sent back, I don't, because for me to do that, it's a long way and very inconvenient. And usually the items are not that expensive, so excuse me. My little kitty cat mug I got from Temu, like 2 years ago when it first started. Yeah, so put my slipper on. That, I'm done. I'm done now. You can go. Yeah, I have nothing else to talk. Well, I've got tons of things to talk about. I've always got stuff to talk about. And if I don't have something to talk about, I'll find something to talk about. Aren't you lucky that I'm going now? Anyway, I will, when the orders come in or order, I will do a little video. When I decide what I'm going to make, I might do a video on that. I don't know. We'll see. Always an adventure in the dray. Okay, so we will see you around. I'm glad you came. I hope you'll stay, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, leave all that stuff. I gotta go blow my nose or something because it's itchy, itchy, itchy. So are my stitches. Oh, they're making me absolutely crazy. Thank goodness there's only a couple of them, or I'd be in like sheer agony. Go, no more chat. Bye.